Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum. Please do me a favor, turn your cell phones off, put them away. You don't need them for the next hour or so. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Gentlemen, need everybody to rise for our Pledge of Allegiance to be followed by the national anthem. So please rise.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. I call on Ms. Anna Loftus to lead us with the national anthem.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Anna. Everyone here is a special guest, but I'd like to acknowledge some people we have with us on the stage. Starting with Dr. Michael Mead, Board of Education Trustee, Mrs. Ruth Bankhead, Director of Human Resources, Mr. William Schramm, Vice President of Henry Ford Health System, Dr. Stan Jensen, President of Henry Ford College, Mr. Brian Whiston, Superintendent of Dearborn Public Schools, Dr. Gail Schenkman, Associate Superintendent of Dearborn Public Schools, and Ms. Shannon Peterson, Executive Director of Secondary Education. Thank you for being with us. I also would like to give our appreciation to Ms. Cindy Schroyer and the entire staff and faculty of Henry Ford College for facilitating our move here and extending their welcome to us. So please, faculty and staff of Henry Ford College, be acknowledged. I really believe that our school has the best teachers anywhere. So please help me give our appreciation to the faculty of Henry Ford Early College. If you ask our students, if you poll our students, they tell you the best thing about their experience is their Wednesdays at the hospital downtown. Great experience for them. And for that, I would like you to join me in thanking Ms. Marva Brooks and the entire staff of Henry Ford Health System. Of course, I don't want to forget the most important people here. The graduates, please join me in giving our appreciation to your parents. Everyone I mentioned deserves some credit for these graduates' achievement. But I want to take a couple words to tell you about this class and what achievement is. I don't want to talk about the over 2,624 college credits they completed. I don't want to mention the average GPA of these graduates is 3.6. It's because of these graduates that the Michigan Department of Education ranked Henry Ford Early College in the top 1% of all high schools in the state. It's because of these graduates that Bridge Magazine ranked us the third best high school in the state. And because of these graduates, they set the bar so high, they're making our job difficult following after them. Because of these graduates, last week I got a correspondence from Newsweek magazine. They're considering putting us on the top high schools in America. So I want to really show these graduates how special they are, so I want to give them a standing ovation. Help me with that. Thank you. It has been exactly, I think, around a year since Dr. Stan Jensen assumed the helm of this great institution. And since then, I feel it, everybody around me feels it, this college is experiencing a renaissance, academic and financial. So please help me welcome Dr. Stan Jensen for a couple of words.
Thank you so much, Rashid, and may I extend my congratulations to the graduates this evening, and all your efforts paid off, and tonight we honor you and your families. Certainly, we also welcome and honor our esteemed faculty and staff, and actually our whole community, and most of all, though, the families that are represented here by way of your parents and grandparents and brothers and sisters and probably friends and other relatives. So congratulations. It takes, in fact, that whole family and that support to help people be successful in their early lives. Also, I know it's probably a longing fulfilled, isn't it, to graduate not only from high school but from college. We're honoring especially college tonight, 2 years from college, and we're certainly proud of you, wish you the best. There is an old proverb that goes along with this, and it goes like this: a longing fulfilled is sweet to the soul. And so it should be some of that sweetness in your soul, in your heart, and certainly in loved ones as they observe your accomplishments this evening. Students, you deserve to be thanked. You have shown commitment, the strength of will, dedication required to earn this degree, and I would encourage you to continue, of course, on and stay humble in your efforts. We want to thank you, as was just mentioned, of a great high model that you have set, and the bar you have set for those that will come after you. I think also the early college typifies something that in America and in Michigan that sets a new trend that will begin to revolutionize the landscape of higher education. Because at a very young age, you have, of course, accomplished diploma from high school, but also 2 years of college and all of that, and you shouldn't be in debt, right? And now you may be in debt to your parents, but there shouldn't be too much debt, as it becomes one of the smartest things that you and your family can do, as far as at least cutting in half a baccalaureate degree. And so the cost of that, and I wish you the best as you continue to make those wise kind of choices. Henry Ford College has about 27,000 students overall, but we are, last summer, in fact, about this time, we were starting to rejuvenate a part of our campus that houses now the early college. We invested well over $1 million in that, and you were the first students to use that. Hopefully you found it useful and has helped you in your preparation for this evening. Also, just think it will continue this way. As far as other things that Henry Ford College offers is a university center, and now you can attend Henry Ford College for 3 years and then go the last year to one of those partnering universities right on this campus. And so we're very thankful for that. Those offices just opened last week on the 3rd floor of the Welcome Center, and they will be a part of our classroom situation, and so perhaps you will find that as something you can use as well. Just want to certainly wish you the best, and the challenges in the future will certainly be enough for all of us, but I think what you have already shown by your grit, your determination, your strength of will, that you'll remain that determined as you go through the rest of your life, and continue to seek help from colleagues and friends and your instructors and your community. You truly have made your family proud, made all of us here on the stage proud, and we are very thankful for you. Once again, thank you for allowing Henry Ford College to play a role in your education and your career development, and thank you for your hard work and your determination. Congratulations. We wish you the best in your life and your career, and may God bless. Thanks.
Thank you, Dr. Jensen. I spoke earlier about our students' experience downtown on Wednesdays when they do the clinical rotations. None of this, the clinical rotation, the graduates, our school, none of it could have happened without the singular vision of Mr. William Schramm, Senior Vice President of Henry Ford Health System. So please help me welcome Mr. Will Schramm.
Good evening. It's a privilege and an honor to speak at this event each year. I'm very proud of all of our graduates, our teachers, and our administrative team. This actually is the end of our 8th year, and we've got a lot to be excited about. Some of those honors have already been mentioned, but we are one of 6 districts who were originally funded with this new educational model, and we remain a benchmark not only for our state, but actually for the country at large. And it really is a simple model. A small school environment, health career emphasis, and an aggressive 5-year plan with support extended to our 6th-year students. To you, our parents, we thank you for your continued trust that you place in us each year with this new innovative educational model. And for you, our students, who, if you would, sacrifice some of that traditional high school experience in exchange for this unique real-world learning environment. Our intent is to be academically challenging, using creative educational strategies both in the classroom, but also, if you would, at the bedside. Our intent is to leverage the power of sight both here at the Henry Ford College, but also, as it's been mentioned, in that healthcare setting. And our intent is in 5 short years to transform you and make you equipped with knowledge and skills and work experience and learning experience to prepare you to be collaborative in the care for a diverse population that if you would, awaits their interactions with you. Your opportunities are limitless, and some of you are going on to work, some of you will continue your education, and some of you actually will be combining both. And there are some good examples for you to follow. One of our first-year graduates, Brandon Parks, is a mental health technician, caring for patients, if you would, with unique needs. In 2013, we currently at Henry Ford employ an ophthalmic tech, a nurse, a respiratory therapist, a physical therapy assistant, again, fulfilling their dreams, if you would, in that care environment. In last year's class, Cassie Russ earned a scholarship to Wittenberg University, where she is now double majoring in molecular biology as well as Japanese, and will actually be continuing her studies in Japan. Right? You've got, in our class of 2013, Hamza Lakhani, who graduated in 13, continued his education and got his second associate's degree in 2014, and now, while working as a respiratory therapist, is working on his bachelor's degree in health administration at Eastern Michigan University. So when you think about the potential and the opportunities, we're excited for you and what your future holds. We're proud of your diligence and your perseverance and your determination and proof of willingness to be part of our story as a school. But my advice and hope for you as you continue to write your story is that first and foremost you find your passion and you pursue it. It's great to have big dreams. The key is following forward on them. Don't give up. Think positively about what you can be, and then you will be it. And lastly, don't forget about your community. Reach back and help others that are going to be following you, if you would, in your footsteps. So again, thank you for being part of the Henry Ford Early College, and congratulations to you from Henry Ford Health System.
Thank you, Mr. Schramm. Every time I meet with him for something different or another, he always comes and shakes my hand firmly and say, Majid, I appreciate you. I'm sure he says that to countless others beside me. Brian, we all appreciate you as well. Ladies and gentlemen, Dearborn Public School Superintendent, the next State of Michigan Superintendent, Mr. Brian Whiston.
Thank you, Majid. Parents and students, I want to thank you for choosing to participating in this program, and I hope that we have met your dreams and goals for the program. I certainly want to thank your principal and the staff from all 3 entities for helping you achieve your goals tonight. But most of all, I want to talk about you students. Thank you for participating in the program. No matter what your next step in life is, whether it is work or college, I just wish you the best. As Bill said, follow your passion, follow your dreams. Understand that you're going to hit obstacles as you're doing that, and the people that are successful are the ones that see those obstacles as a fun challenge and not an immovable force. So I wish you the best. I wish you much success and much happiness in whatever you pursue in life. And as you do see Mr. Bill Schramm after the program, please thank him, because this truly was his vision and creation. And so you're benefiting from that, and I think it would be nice if you thank him after the program. Thank you, and enjoy the evening.
Thank you, Mr. Whiston. All of our graduating students were given the chance to submit a speech to speak at their graduation. Several did. Our staff met, went through the speeches, and they picked what we consider representation of our student body and for our school. So first, I'd like to ask Ms. Ashani Harris to come up.
Thank you. I didn't get nervous until I got up here. Okay. Simon Sinek from TED Talks once asked, "How do you explain why some people are able to achieve things that seem impossible?" I've asked myself something similar on plethora occasions. At the beginning of this journey, I was excited to be granted the opportunity to attend HFEC. I was excited because of the head start it was going to give me in life. Every time someone would ask me, where was I going to go for high school, I was honored to explain and elaborate on every single detail. It made me proud that I was going to accomplish something, and I wanted everyone to know it. But in the back of my head, I was faced with the inevitable question, how on earth was I going to get through these 5 years I was now faced with? When it came to school, I loved learning new things, and I absolutely loved to read just about everything. But I always doubted myself when I stepped into a classroom because I was never able to think on my feet as fast as others. That made me believe I was inferior, which furthered my feeling of intimidation, although my exterior told everybody I was confident. The first time I walked into HFEC's hallway was during the summer before my 9th grade year. I sat in Mr. Rommel's classroom next to a student that was different from me. I asked him questions like, what school did you go before this? Where exactly are you from, and do you know anyone here? He told me he went to school overseas, and just like me, he knew no one. When the day was over, I went home and told my parents that everything went great and I was ready for school to start. Then I went in my room and cried, because there were going to be other students just like him, and also students who more than likely knew more than me. On the first day, I went into my first hour with Mr. Saya and sat in my assigned seat. I studied the room with everyone in it, and I felt off. I kept reading the syllabus just to distract myself from what I was feeling. Then Mr. Saya started to talk about everything we were going to get done in the first semester, and my off feeling died because he just wanted to teach me what I needed to know and not focus on the things that I didn't. From that point on, school became this necessary evil I was no longer intimidated by. Every single teacher and faculty member within HFEC's walls was compassionate and determined to get students where they needed to be. Each teacher taught me something different beyond the curriculum they were hired to teach. Mr. Riley, you taught me how to be straightforward all of the time, and not to be straightforward all of the time, and sarcasm is healthy. Mrs. Stevens taught me laughter eases everything over, and learning can be fun. Mr. Rommel taught me that everything isn't as hard as it seems if you take the time to focus on what you're doing. Mr. Saya taught me there's a time and place for everything. Miss McKenzie and Miss Mai combined taught me something that I won't forget, and that's how to be prepared for the future. And if there's something in life that you desperately want, you have to work for it. I'm grateful to have had the teachers that I did, but most importantly, the principal. In the beginning, Miss Alcadre was my principal, and she was as wonderful as the teachers. She cared about each student individually and wanted them to care just as much. But then she had to leave. I worried that her departure meant the person who replaced her wouldn't be as kind-hearted and compassionate as she had been. We went through 2 different principals that just didn't fit the part, until Mr. Fadlullah came. From his arrival on, everything flowed effortlessly. I never encountered someone who cared for children's futures as much as he did, and still does. He's taught me, no matter the circumstances, keep going and make sure that whatever you engage in, you're the best at it, and for that, I'm grateful. As I come up on the last days here at HFCC and become prepared to leave a place that's been my home for 5 years, I finally realized why I believed this journey was impossible. It's because I didn't believe I was capable of actually getting this far. Especially because along the way, I wanted to call it quits so many times. Dad, you know this. Now I stand here as a graduate with my associate's degree. I never thought time would pass as fast as it did. This day always felt so far in the distance, something impossible for me to reach. As every day passed, and as I got through each of my classes with success, an ounce of my confidence came with me. And now the day I felt was inevitable is now here. And I couldn't be more proud of myself and my fellow peers. So congratulations, class of 2015. Our 5-year journey has come to an end, and the next chapter in our lives has started. Thank you.
When I started as a principal, Ashane and Kelsey, I used to walk them out in the morning. I used to take them on power walks. They always complained that I worked them very hard. Mr. Shram mentioned Hamza Lakhani. Omar Lakhani, I graduate here, and just happened our next speaker is Ali Lakhani.
Give me a second. Welcome, family, friends, faculty, esteemed guests, Alex. I was given free rein to speak at this year's commencement for the class of 2015 by Mr. Fadlallah, and he will come to regret that decision. I would like to start off by saying it is a huge honor for you all to be sitting here listening to me speak. What a treat for you, right? Now, I'm not going to get up here and give you the cliche hallmark commencement speech, the traditional commencement of, as I look out here today, I see future pioneers of science, lawyers, surgeons. Don't get your hopes up. It's cruel to give you such high hopes. We're all going to be broke college students for the next couple years, so get used to it. Before I begin, I'd like to apologize for the abundance of quotes that I will employ. I only find it befitting considering Mr. Rommel is sitting here with us. If you know me well, you know I'm a procrastinator, the worst of the worst. So when I decided to speak today, my first move was to run to my computer and watch a couple seasons of Grey's Anatomy on Netflix. Then finally, yesterday at midnight, I decided it was about time I sit down. I brewed a fresh cup of coffee, sat in front of my computer, cracked my fingers, and hopped onto movingcommencementspeeches.com. I found a speech I felt was worthy, but of course my credit card was declined, so I was forced to sit down and write the speech. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, I give you my speech. I would like to tell you all of a story. It's a lengthy story. It's a story 13 years in the making. A story that will most likely put all of you to sleep, so I'll give you the SportsCenter Highlights edition. 13 years of schooling have come down to this moment, high school graduation. 13 years is a long time. I mean, just ask Lindsay Lohan. 5 of those 13 years were spent at Henry Ford Early College. Some of you might say that these were the best and most fun years of your life. But come on, who are we kidding? If reading Shakespeare and learning the Pythagorean theorem are your ideas of fun, then God may help you. No offense, Mr. Riley and Ms. Stevens. Bo Schembechler said, "Those who stay will be champions." We all stayed, and today is the day we reap that reward and receive our high school diplomas. Half a decade ago, in a simpler time when Miley Cyrus was still Hannah Montana, 50 bright-eyed, anxious teens walked into a single hallway school and were greeted by a principal that wouldn't make it to the end of the year. Sitting before me today are 46 highly capable and successful PP heads and professionals who are too jacked up on coffee to be able to sit through this commencement. Except you, Ryan Jowski, you're not a PP head. If you think about it, we all accomplished an amazing feat. We're graduating high school with an associate's degree in hand. And I saw a couple of you guys at the college commencement last week. But let's go to the beginning. Freshman year, 50 teenage, acne-ridden, awkward students trying to find a place for themselves. Some of us are still stuck in that stage. Wednesdays were the best. A group of 14-year-olds walking around a hospital campus like we own the place in our extremely comfortable and well-fitting blue polo shirts made 60% of cotton, 40% of nylon, and pre-washed in the tears of school children. I grew fond of the uniform because personally I am sick and tired of being outdressed by David Davis. Similar itchy red patches of eczema on Thursdays would only draw us closer together as a cohort. The elevated races that we competed in at the hospital were more competitive than any sport we could have played. Lauren and Selva, you know this. As students, we were able to witness amazing feats, such as a surgeon removing a tumor from the brain of a patient lying in front of you, and praying you don't become the patient as you struggle to hold down your lunch. That first year was spent trying to find connections. When we came back for sophomore year, we were hit with the sudden realization that not everyone returned, but soon forgot as 3 more fresh faces joined us, one who would become my sister-in-law. Still trying to figure that one out. We spent many sleepless nights that year struggling to complete Mr. Romel's study guides and completing college success assignments. Wait a second, guys, really, who am I kidding? College success had a grade. That year, friendships were forged, loyalties placed, and egos built under the perception that we had swag. You know what we looked forward to the most during those first few years? Bosco sticks. By junior year, we were presented with a whole new level of freedom. There was a shuttle, a free shuttle that took you from the early college to the college and then to the mall. This created a world of possibilities if it weren't for those pesky college classes. Actually, fun fact, in junior year, we had lived in 2 decades, 2 centuries, 2 millenniums, and survived the well-documented disaster known as Amanda Bynes, all just to be murdered by Mr. Saya's US Gov final. That year, we learned a tough lesson in discipline, and friendships were solidified. By the way, for all the future high schoolers out there in the crowd today, spoiler alert, George shoots Lenny. By senior year, we sat back and watched as all of our other high school peers were getting ready to graduate. But we were comforted by the many failed promposals, and that we weren't your typical high school students, and we were in it for the long haul. By the time 13th grade rolled around, we were faced with the endless task of college applications and worrying where you would end up in the fall. We waited patiently for months, only to see our plans vaporizing before our eyes and receiving enough rejection letters to create a collage out of it. Come check my room out. We made frantic calls to Harvard trying to explain away that 1C you got 2 semesters back. But by the end, we realized we were equipped to handle any school or challenge thrown our way, and that 9 plus 10 actually equals 21. The wise philosopher and poet Nicki Minaj said, "Cherish these nights, cherish these people. Life is a movie, but there will never be a sequel." I think we all really cherished those nights of cramming for an upcoming chem exam or calc test, and hearing the annoying buzzing of our alarm each morning and feeling it take a piece of our soul away with every loud beep. As I look out this crowd, I am surprised the staff of Tim Hortons isn't here. I'm sure managers across Dearborn will be sad to see their best customers go. I'm also surprised Payam is here, and not in his natural habitat, the gym. He'll probably try to bicep curl his diploma, I'm just warning you guys. Someone said, "I am not as good as I could be, and I am not as good as I should be, but I am better than I used to be." We started high school mostly concerned about ourselves, unaffected by the struggles of our classmates, and along the way, we learned the importance of friendship, empathy, and compassion. And what more could you ask for from your future healthcare provider, or current healthcare provider, as some of us are? As many of us, but the story of the class of 2015 is still being written. This was only the first chapter of a long and exciting book, and together we will write the story with compassion, triumph, and courage we can draw from knowing that through trial and through error, we always had each other and will continue to always have each other. And all of this wouldn't be possible without the often unappreciated work from our teachers, and especially Ms. Kavesi, who's here with us today. And especially our teachers, who worked so hard to make us better and more civilized people. I mean, come on now. I'd especially like to thank Ms. Stevens for helping me with the speech and making sure I was literate enough to actually read it. I want to thank my parents for making me Asian, and as Mr. Falala calls me, Mr. Pakistan Jr. And I would like to thank all of you, fellow graduates, for making these past years the best I could have asked for. Today's the day my life begins. Today, I become a citizen of the world. Today, I become a grown-up, unable to hide behind the protection offered by being a high school student. Today, I become accountable to someone other than myself or my parents or my teachers, accountable for more than my grades. Today, I become accountable to the world, to the future, to my patients, to all the possibilities life has to offer. Starting today, my job is to show up, wide-eyed and willing and ready. For what? I don't know. For anything. For everything. To take on life, to take on love, to take on responsibility and possibility. Today, my friends, we continue our story, our lives, and I, for one, can't wait. Thank you.
Thank you, Ali. And you're right, I do regret letting you speak. With a GPA of a 4.5, having completed 97 college credits, an associate in biotechnology, attending University of Michigan Ann Arbor in the fall to graduate to continue her education. The valedictorian of the class of 2015 is Miss Queen Q. With a GPA of 4.48, also completing 97 college credits while being part of the honors program with Queen at the college. He will be attending University of Michigan Ann Arbor in the fall to continue his studies in biology. The salutatorian of the class of 2015 is Mr. Xavier Owens. Ali took away something I wanted to do. Before I call our graduates for the diplomas, I would like to acknowledge Mrs. Mariam Kubaisi, who was counselor at our school and now she's assistant principal at Oral Smith Middle School. Mariam? I also would like to acknowledge a very special parent to us, Mrs. Lamparski in the back. Mrs. Lamparski, be acknowledged. I will call our graduates to come up. Stage, you're going to help me pass the diplomas, please. Raja Larshi. Rima Alawi. Muhammad Al-Harithi. Asia Carter. Jordan Carter. David Davis. Marisu Diabet. Naveen Elder. Moses Al-Girsh. Reem Fahs. Payom Ahmadi. Jacob Gordon. Joshua Gordon. Batul Haidar. Ghadir Hamoud. Lauren Harper. Ashane Harris. Lena Huraibi. Amara Johnson. Ryan Jowski. Nafia Khan. Queen Q. Ali Lakani. Kelsey Lamparski. علاء الدين معتوق. Andrew McLear. Nozrul Mia. Chandler McAuliffe. Shauna Miller. Jamal Muhammad. Maitham Nay. Salwa Naji. Alexander Nash. Xavier Owens. Naveen Ramal. Dakayla Randall. Kendall Reyes. Kaylee Smith. Samantha Stewart. Joya White. I would like now to ask Dr. Michael Mead, Dearborn Board of Education trustee, to come up for some closing words. Dr. Mead.
Well, I'm kind of a new Board of Trustees member. I started in January, but I'm very jealous. I'm looking around here, and I've never heard so many classmates support other classmates when you received your diplomas. So you've had a unique experience here. You have had an opportunity to really get to know some people, and they're very supportive of you. I hope you have more of these kinds of experiences in your life. But if you go to a very large university and you graduate, they probably won't cheer for you. because they won't know who you are. But here you know each other, and I hope you'll be a supportive group for each other for the rest of your lives. Okay, it's my pleasure to be here this evening as a trustee representing both the Dearborn Public Schools and Henry Ford College. On behalf of my colleagues on the board, I want to extend my most sincere congratulations to the students in the third graduating class of Henry Ford Early College. This program demonstrates the strong partnership that exists between the Dearborn Public Schools and Henry Ford College, a partnership that benefits students in classrooms throughout our city. However, this program has been successful these past 8 years because of the incredible support of our third partner, Henry Ford Health System. There wouldn't be a Henry Ford Early College without them. We appreciate all they have contributed from the very start to make this program a success. We know students look forward to graduation, an event marking the end of a long journey. For the students here tonight, you have waited a bit longer for this event than most students, but as they say, good things come to those who wait. The graduates here this evening are now actually ahead of their peers. As most high school seniors will take part in graduation ceremonies marking the end of 4 years of high school and earning only a high school diploma, all of you will leave here this evening with a high school diploma, and you already have your associate degree, right? All right. So you've successfully completed a journey and now have the knowledge and tools to confidently start a new journey, a journey with many new paths to take, new challenges to overcome, and new goals to meet. Henry David Thoreau said, quote, "What you get by achieving your goals is not as important as what you become by achieving your goals." So what have you become by achieving your goals? Well, you become a person who understands the importance of education and being a lifelong learner. You have become a person who understands there will be challenges in life, but if you ask questions, seek help, and are persistent, you can overcome obstacles. You have become a person who values friendship and cherishes the support of family. Love your family, thank your family. They have supported you throughout your life and are here tonight to continue that support, but also to celebrate with you. Students, thank your family for all they have done to help you reach your goal this evening. However, students, remember, it has also been said, quote, "Families are like fudge, mostly sweet with a few nuts," end quote. And you know what? That's okay, because we all need to remember to smile, laugh, and be a little nuts now and then. Congratulations, students. I wish you success in all your life pursuits.
I want to thank you again for attending our ceremony. At the conclusion of the program, I need your cooperation, parents, guests. I will exit the stage first, then I will exit the students next, and then you may join us in the lobby for a picture if you'd like. Thank you. Graduates, please rise. Stay. By the power vested in me by the Dearborn Board of Education, I now pronounce you graduates of Henry Ford Early College.
Amen.